the voices that propel us, stories of justice, action, and community. A space where justice meets action and community voices rise. Each episode, we bring you stories from the front lines, changemakers, disruptors, and everyday heroes who are building a more just, equitable, and liberated world. This is more than a podcast. It's a call to listen, learn, and move together. Just listening to music from the incredibly talented Stephen Kong. You can find him on Spotify and Bandcamp. Today we have with us Lanetta Marshall. Lanetta is a dream architect who helps purpose-driven people not just dream about a better life, but actually build and live it. Her heart-centered coaching and SoulSync Method align spirit, mind, and body to create success from the inside out. Her journey wasn't easy. After earning over $1 million, she lost nearly everything and was left with just $900. By applying universal laws and principles, she rebuilt her life in 18 months, investing over $100,000 in her own transformation and discovering her true calling. Named Transformational Coach of the Year in 2023, Lanetta now helps others live with grace, ease, and unshakable faith. As she says, struggle is a choice, and I want people to say yes to their yes, because everybody gets to go in my book. Hi, Lanetta. I'm so excited to have you here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantabulously well.
I love to hear that. Before we start off, I just want to give you like major thank you and major like props that this podcast would not even be possible without you. And you just giving me that hope in my vision and really pushing me forward. So just thank you. We're here because of you. And this would not have even been possible if it weren't for your encouragement and resources.
Well, you are so welcome, and you are an ideal client to work with. You leaned in
Yeah.
to wanting more, and you followed and trusted my guidance. And look at where you are today, my dear.
Yeah.
So,
No, I appreciate you so much. And you have such a powerful story. And, I can't wait for people to hear about it. And just, I think you inspired so many people. But just to start off, you call yourself a dream architect. What does that mean to you? And how did you come to embrace that title?
okay. Well, I call myself a dream architect for a couple of reasons. It sounds a lot more mysterious, and it can give a person a reason to say, "Ooh, tell me more." Because the world would call me a transformational life coach. But I call myself a dream architect because what I love to do in my sweet spot is working with people on their what's next. What's their what's next and possibility and opportunity for themselves in their lives. So I really love working with purpose driven people who really have a desire to live a better life. They just may not know how,
Yeah.
and I help them craft and design the dream life that they would love living and turn that into reality where they can actually live out
Hmm.
the dream. And I came up with Dream Architect because that's what I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I came up with it.
That's
It's
cool. I love that.
sexier,
I
isn't
love
it
that.
sexier? It was more mysterious. Said, what do you do? I'm a transformation life coach. What do you do? I'm a dream architect.
Yeah.
Ooh, tell me more.
No, I love that so much. And I know that's something that you share a lot with folks is just like how you know what it feels like to lose almost everything. So after earning over $1 million and then losing almost everything, what was going through your mind in that moment of just having $900 left?
I know, right?
Yeah, no, it's a powerful story because I think a
I
lot of
am
people
not,
could give
I'm
up,
not a
but
big cursor, but I will curse on this one. I was like, holy
okay.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
How in the world can
Mhm.
Lanetta Marshall, like seriously, this corporate America executive who has seen over $1 million go through my bank account, like, how could I literally get down to just 900? Like, how did that happen? And what was going through my mind was, you're a loser, you're stupid, you're not good enough, we're all of that. So negativity was what was going on in my mind. It was negative, 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 negative,
Yeah.
doom and gloom. But the main one was, how can you be so bleep stupid to allow this to happen? I thought you knew better. You've been working over 20 plus years in corporate America. You got a college degree, honor roll student all throughout your schooling. How in the world did you allow this to happen to you? So that was what was going on in my mind. It was blame, victimhood, doom and gloom, negativity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
love that because I think you like took a struggle into like something positive though. I think not a lot of people do that. I think that's just amazing though, how you just saw yourself being able to like build yourself up, rebuild yourself from that, than just like, just staying at the bottom.
Yep.
Just
Well,
yeah.
I got to the point in my life where I literally hit rock bottom. Like, I believe every person has a breaking point.
Uh-huh.
And I was at that breaking point in my life in 2018 where everything that I valued and everything that I thought identified who I was no longer was part of my life. My fiance left me, and we were together for 12 years. I lost the career.
Hmm.
Um, I intentionally foreclosed on my house after living in the house for 15 years. That makes no logical sense. But
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you, baby, when you're dealing with depression and you don't handle it well,
Yeah.
your choices in life don't make sense. And I lost some friendships,
Hmm.
and my health wasn't the best. I'm a petite frame person, but I had gotten up to close to 150 pounds. May not sound like a lot, but on a 5'2" frame, it is. And I lost direction in my life, my what's next, the doom and gloom, the suicidal thoughts
Uh-huh.
started to creep back in. I lost myself.
Yeah.
And I'm just so glad, literally, that I had that one inkling of banging on the floor and on my knees and just bawling my eyes out and crying
Yeah.
while I was at my best friend's house. Because once my ex left me, I walked away, let him keep it all. I didn't have a plan B, C, D, or E. So I found myself at my best friend's house, being that support system. And there was just that moment when I was just bawling and I was sad and angry and hurt and devastated. But I'm so glad I had a little bit of something.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say the little bit of something was the size of a mustard seed, which is the smallest seed out there. But I had a little bit of something that in my anguish, I just yelled out, "Is this the best it's going to get? Are you kidding me? I'm in my 50s. Half of my life is already over. Is this it?
Yeah.
Is this it? This is it?" And I'm glad I questioned that. And that question was my mustard seed. Is this it? There has to be something more. And in that moment of just letting it all rip, letting go of the emotions, not trying to control them, and learning how that was my first moment. Didn't know it at the time,
Yeah.
but that was my first moment surrendering all of me to a higher power. And then at that moment, shortly after, then I started to realize that I was in a tunnel and there was some light.
Yeah, no, that's
That
really
makes sense.
wonderful. Yeah, no, I love that. And what was it that gave you that hope though? You talked about a higher power, or like were there other things that really helped get you through those moments?
It was just me yelling out in anguish and just
Mhm.
saying, God, are you serious? Is this the best it's going to get?
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that there was a higher power. However, I never really intentionally, consistently reached out to leverage the higher power, if that makes sense.
Right.
And in that moment, I did.
Uh-huh.
And that was when I started to set myself free by getting clarity. It's like I was living, like I'm born and raised in San Francisco. And so where I live in the city, normally it's foggy. And so I don't know. The best way I can describe it is if you ever been on a highway or on a road and it's foggy and you can't see 5 feet in front of you, but there's something there, but you can't see it. And so I didn't realize that I was in a state of fog
Yeah.
in my life, I was so consumed with negativity. I was so consumed with the pain and the hurt
Hmm.
and me thinking that I was less than not worthy. Actually, me thinking that I was worthless, fundamentally flawed,
Yeah.
not capable. It's crazy because my resume showed that I wasn't a highly successful corporate America executive making crazy money. Like,
Mhm.
why would I even think that? But the outside doesn't necessarily define the inside of a person.
Yeah.
And so on the outside, I looked great, but on the inside, I was messed up and didn't really know I was messed up until everything, I just lost everything.
Yeah.
And then I got a glimmer of hope. So it was some hope. That mustard seed was hope
Yeah.
that there has to be something different than this. Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
And then me just releasing it all
Yeah.
and being 100% vulnerable
Hmm.
and then getting enough gumption to reach out and get some help.
No, that's cool. I love the imagery that you have too, just about the fog and driving through San
Yeah.
Francisco. I think anyone who's driven through there, we know what you're talking about.
You
Just
right?
going
Like
through the
you know
fog and
there's
not seeing
something
that. You're
beyond
right,
the
right.
fog, but you can't
Uh-huh.
see it.
I
So
love
I
that.
was
I
at a
really
point
love
in my
that.
life where I know there's something more than this, but my life is so freaking messed up right now that I can't see past my freaking windshield.
Yeah.
But I know. So that mustard seed was me knowing there's something, but I didn't know what the something was.
Yeah.
Because what I did know is I can no longer be driving on this journey of life in this crap. This is not gonna work.
Yeah.
No, it's not gonna work.
No, I love that. And you said that you realized that struggle is a choice. Can you walk us through how you came to that understanding?
Yes. So when I gave myself permission to do work on me, and when I talk about work on me, when I was 45, I'll be 60 this year. So when I was 45, that was the very first time I was introduced into personal growth and personal development.
Mhm.
And actually that's how we met. We were at a workshop together.
Yes.
And that was my very first introduction to that world. And it was something about that world that really got to me internally. I did not stay in that world consistently. But when I was at that lowest point in my life and I just yielded and let go and surrendered it all to God, and then I started to reach out and get help working with a sex therapist, dealing with some stuff I never dealt with that happened to me when I was 17.
Hmm.
And then started working with a coach, a life coach. In the work on life coach with working on me, learning me, understanding why my life has turned out the way it has, understanding why I view the world the way I view it. Why do I view me the way I view it? Why do I view me in the world the way I do? Understanding that there's another way to view the world, understanding that I get to design the life that I desire
Uh-huh.
and I have the right, because it is my birthright to live abundantly. And biblically, it's written.
Right.
It's all of our birthright. And so as I started to get in the study of me and learning and leaning into the spiritual side of me, that's when I realized and learned that struggle was a choice.
Hmm.
I just thought it was what it was because everybody had to struggle because I was at that point struggling. And it was crazy because all of this crap happened to me when I was 52. So I got exposed to personal growth in 45. I didn't really stay in it. Then my world collided and crumbled when I was 52. So 7 years later. And then from that moment to now, so for the last 8 years, I've been involved in some form of personal growth and personal development. And that's when I learned that we are so powerful because we were given the power of free will. And when it comes to free will, you get to choose.
Hmm.
And I learned that I'm not a victim. Playing the victim was the lowest level of awareness. I didn't know. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And then I realized that, yes, you will be faced with challenges in your life. And biblically, it tells you that you will be faced with challenges. But I learned that you can do a challenge one of two ways. You can make it hard and struggle through it, or you can make it easy and flow through it. And that's when I realized that struggling was a choice.
Yeah.
Because if I'm living in an abundant universe and things flow and everything is connected, why would I need to struggle?
Yeah, no, I love that because I
Yeah.
think that like is really powerful and it gives a person more agency because I think there's things in our lives that we just can't control. But I think by controlling those thoughts, like, it gives a person more agency and more power to the person.
Yeah. And then I also learned the difference between recently over the last couple of years that I used to say I want to control my thoughts, and now I'm into managing my thoughts. I'm very big on energy. I'm very big on how things feel to me. And managing feels a whole lot easier. Managing is more of a flow than control can feel kind of hard. Like, okay, I got to use extra strength for the control. But manage means I'm maneuvering. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You're managing the highway, you're maneuvering the turns. You're not controlling the turn is already there. You get to maneuver how you're going to work the turn. It's a difference. So I get to manage how I'm going to feel in my emotions because you may be in a very low level of emotion, the lowest level, it's like 22 levels, but I'm not going to go too deep. But let's say I'm dealing with fear, right? And I want to go to a higher level of joy. Well, the likelihood of going from fear to joy and collapsing those 21 levels in a second may seem as a challenge and being hard, but saying, well, if I can at least just move up one level, do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay, well, I'm in a state of blame and resentment, but let me at least get to a place of understanding, then it's not as bad. Let me get to a place of hope. Not saying that the situation didn't happen, not saying that. Because the reality is, the fact of it is, it did. But I choose to partner with a higher truth.
Yeah.
I don't partner with the reality of the world because the reality of the world got me in trouble with how I thought. Because I based everything off of what I could see
Hmm.
and taste and touch and hear and feel, the tangibles. And then I've learned how to operate more in the intangibles, which is where the hope and the faith comes in,
Yeah. No,
if
I love
that makes
that. Yeah, totally. I love
sense.
that. So in your bio, you mentioned that you invested over $100,000 in your own transformation in just 18 months, without using credit cards. So how did you cultivate the faith and discipline to do that? That's, really incredible.
I know. So here I am down to $900, right? Right. And I didn't have any credit cards because, crazingly enough, once again, when you're dealing with depression, you're not logically thinking. So the cards I had, I canceled them all
Hmm.
for whatever reason. And then when you foreclose on a house, it ain't like anybody gonna give you a credit card. Right.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a credit card anymore. Right. I didn't have it. And so here I am working with a sex therapist, working with a coach. I can't charge anything. And so the very first thing that ended up happening, I'm so blessed. I have an amazing community and tribe of friends. And I was having an organic conversation with a friend of mine about, oh my God, I found the perfect coach. I know this coach is perfect for me and I just can't afford him. And I wasn't calling to ask for money. I was just talking to my friend.
Yeah.
And then my friend offered to loan me some money. And I'm like, no, 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 that's not what I'm doing. And my friend was like, stop, Lanetta. When you were high on the hog, I know you used to loan out money. Yeah, I did, very willingly. And he checked me. He was like, don't, how did that make you feel? And I told him how it made me feel. It made me feel great. I'm able, I'm capable. He says, don't put me in a place to where you not allow me to experience the same feelings. And I was like, ooh, ouch. So I borrowed the money and I drew up a contract where I would pay him back and how I was going to pay him back to get started to do some work. And then from there, with me getting started to do some work on me, that's when I started to get out of the fog and possibilities and opportunities started to open up, which allowed me to earn more money. So I put myself in a position where I started to attract things that allowed me to earn money. And then when I started to get out of the fog and I'm still on the same road, but now I can see the hillside, I can see the trees, I can see the mountains, I can see that now. They were there all along, I
Mhm.
just couldn't see it. Then that's when I got involved into coaching because I got the call that that's what I was supposed to do. And then I started my coaching practice. I didn't answer the call immediately, I did not. And then when I answered it, I started earning money doing coaching.
Mhm.
And so that's what happened. I'm earning money, doing coaching, earning money with another business that I do. And I'm earning and then I'm releasing it
Mhm.
so I could continue to work on me and evolve and grow. And that's what happened. That's how I went from $900 to spending over 100 grand cash. I didn't have no credit cards.
Mhm.
I didn't get another credit card. We're in 2025.
Mhm.
I got another credit card. I think I got another credit card in 2022
Oh,
or
cool.
2023.
Okay. Okay.
Over
No.
the last couple of years was when I was able to get another credit card after
Oh,
not having a credit card. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I had gone years,
wow.
years without a credit card. That's crazy. I mean, I hadn't really thought about it. But yeah,
No, that's
I,
cool. And that's
yeah.
something that I'm really grateful for you too. I think because when we first started reconnecting again with the coaching, like how I'm like, oh, I don't have a job right now, how do I know? But I think you helped me to see by investing myself like financially, like it made it worth it because opportunities started happening and
See?
coming to me once I started doing inner work, whereas like
Yes.
maybe I could have saved that money, but it'd still be like stagnant.
Right?
Yeah.
And you would still be propelling the things, because
Yeah.
I love working in the space of with people where there's things you don't know that you don't know, and you don't even know you don't know it.
Yeah, I love
So
that.
I like to take you from not knowing to knowing. Because in order to change and transform anything, you have to become aware of the thing to transform and change, right? And
Right.
that is how you get into the know. So I help people go inwardly
Yeah.
so they get to know themselves, how they tick, decide how they really would love their life to look, and who do they get to be to attract that, and then help them become that version of them now so they can attract the things to actualize and live out the life they really want to live. It's not a hard equation. However, having the consistent support and the guidance is key because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And so I've learned, and it's so funny how the higher power works with me. Like I've learned, it's so interesting. I go through crap. Trust me, I'm human. I
Mhm.
go through crap. I say the apple got eaten and we go through crap, right? And I have a tendency to create curriculum literally based off of the crap I just went through. So I'm not just trying to feed you theory. Like I know you can get through it because I did. And let me show you how and guide you and let me save you time. So I'm like, I don't want people to wait until they're in their 50s or they're in the second half of their life to really understand and figure out that you have the right to live your life the way you desire to live it. And you may not know how you want it to look, but there is something more bigger and better and brighter for you. There is a fuller expression that you want on this planet. I'm 100% clear about that. And if that is something you're looking for, I'm your, let's go. Let's go deep. Let's figure that out. Let's craft it. Let's design it. And then let's live it. Because you can live it. You start checking the yep, 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 this, and then you continue to evolve and grow. And then there's more and more and more that pops up as
Mm.
you continue to evolve and grow.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that. So, can you tell us what is the SoulSync method and how does it help people align with spirit, mind, and body?
So I call it the soul sync method because a lot of people talk about mind, body, and soul. But I start with soul first,
Hmm.
which is spirit. So I start with spirit, then mind, and then physical. Because the physical is the body. That's where the action takes place. Because I've learned that there's two sides to everybody's existence on this planet. Now you don't have to agree with me, but this is my belief. And so one side is the human side, the physical side, which is finite. It's not permanent. And then you have the infinite side of your nature, which is the spiritual side, where there is no beginning and there is no end. And so I've learned to lean more into that spiritual side, which is the unseen side, which is the personal growth, development going internally. And so I start with soul. So I call it the SoulSync method. So it's soul, it's mind, and then body. It's not mind, body, and soul. No, it's soul first, hence spirit first. Because I've also learned in my education, I got a college degree. When I was growing up, there was no curriculum in school about the spiritual side of us.
Yeah.
There wasn't. I didn't go to school and take a class in regards to that and
Yeah.
how you get to lean into the possibility because that's where the sweet spot is. That's where the opportunities, the answers, the solutions live. It lives in the spiritual side and the unseen. And I grew up believing that in order for me to believe something is true, I have to see it. That is so not true. When you lean more into the spiritual side, my belief starts from my belief from within. I don't need to see diddly squat. I know it to be true.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say that I am not ignoring reality. I'm not ignoring the facts. Yeah, this happened. Yeah, I only had $900. But I'm not going to side with that's all there ever is. And I'm not going to make a decision off of what that bank account tells me. Because all that do is tell me factual in that moment. That's what I have. But at any second, I could win the lotto. I don't really get buy lotto tickets, but I could win the lotto. Somebody could sell me some money. I could pick up a client. You know what I'm saying? It's not finite. The spiritual side is not finite. It's infinite. But when you lean into what you see, it's finite because it's what you see. And that's the truth. It's not the truth. At that moment, that's a fact. But there's a difference between facts and truth. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's the space I work in when I work with people, leaning into the spiritual side and teaching people that and how to leverage that spiritual side because we all have it.
Yeah. No, that's really beautiful. So, many people feel stuck in fear or self-doubt. How do you help clients recognize when they're unknowingly creating their own limitations?
Well, I first start off with letting people know that you had a part in the outcome that you have today. First own your part. Because if you don't take any ownership, you're giving up your control. So I love to let people know you do have control because you can make choices and decisions. It's called free will, right? And when fear pops up, fear is just an indicator. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just an indicator. It's an emotion that's indicating to you physically, emotionally, and mentally that guess what, Denise? You have your toe on the line of your comfort zone
Yeah.
because you're about to embark on something unknown. And so the fear pops up. So that's an indicator, it's a good sign. It's letting you know, oh, I'm about to get out of my comfort zone because growth happens outside of your comfort zone. There
Yeah.
is no more growth to have if you comfortable. You good. I'm good. Oh, no, I'm great, amazing, fantabulous, right? And so I work with people to help them learn how to harness fear and give it a different meaning. Because it's always the meaning we give things. It's never the thing itself. It's never the event. It's the meaning we give it. So give it a different meaning. Oh my God. So fear is just an indicator? It's a stepping stone. It's a stepping stone to your what's next. It's just letting you know what? You're about to do something you've never done before, and it's a little scary, and that's okay. You can still get through it. So
Yeah.
instead of fear jumping in the car with you and being the driver, I like to support people to position fear from the driver to the co-pilot to a passenger in the back seat. Then it's in the trunk, and then you just dragging it. You dragging it to your bumper. So fear is part of the process, but you get to have fear. Fear doesn't have to have you.
Yeah, I love that. And just to follow up with that, what would you say to someone who feels like they're working so hard, but just still seems like they can't break through?
Well, I would tell them to stop working hard because life can be my easy button.
Oh, I love that.
Stop working hard,
Uh-huh.
make it easy, because when you're spending that extra energy, you're in a resistance, right?
Yeah.
So loosen the screws. Loosen the screws, like, baby, it's okay. This is a moment. It's just a moment in time. So let's loosen those screws. You don't have to work hard. Be in the flow. What is your gut telling you? What is your instinct telling you?
Yeah.
How does it talk to you? Because your instinct, your gut, your third eye, your intuition never steers you wrong. So learn how to first ground yourself, get back to the present moment, because in the present moment, you're good, you're safe. And the first thing I would do with someone is ask them to intentionally breathe. Let's reset you. And that's the very first thing you can do. You calm your nervous system by intentionally breathing. Take 30 seconds, take 60 seconds, but just intentionally breathe, bring yourself back to this current moment and telling yourself, in this moment, I'm okay. In this moment. Now, the next moment, I might be a hot mess, but in this moment, I'm good. And settle yourself down. And that's how another way you get to manage your emotions. Like, now give myself some space to be still and breathe so I can respond to life and not react to it.
Yeah. No, I
That's what I do.
Yeah, I really love that. And you really taught me that too, because even my job search, I felt like when I'm putting a lot of effort in, like applying to a lot of jobs every day, like nothing. And it's that moment when I said, like, I give up, I'm not putting any effort. That's when I get the opportunities. And so funny. I don't know why life works
Right?
that way
Because
though.
you're not fighting it. I'm
Yeah, no,
just
it's
going to
just
go
so
with it.
funny.
I'm going to go with a calm state.
Yeah.
And then visualize, what would the dream offer look like? What are the words I would want somebody to say to me? What type of email I would love for them to put in an offer letter? Like, craft it, dream it out, and act like you're living it now. I mean, it may sound crazy because I used to think it was all woo woo crazy stuff, but this stuff is real. It is so real, and it's so much fun when I get to take people through it. Like, it's so much fun.
I know, it's just something that you can't explain. I think we've talked about that before too. Like there's things that happen that you just can't explain or
You
how
can't.
things like coincidences. I don't think that there's anything coincidence. I think everything happens for a reason, but things just line up the way that they're supposed to. And there's no logical reason
There's
usually behind it. Yeah.
absolutely no logical reason. Like, I'll give you an
Yeah.
example. So my money was all messed up, right?
Hmm.
I had a bill. And I'm like, I don't know how in the world I'm going to pay this. I have absolutely no clue. Like, logically and in the world, and meaning what I see in my account doesn't match what I know I'm supposed to pay.
Hmm.
There's a big gap, a
Right.
huge gap. I see this. I'm supposed to pay this. How am I supposed to get here? How's that?
Yeah.
Right? So I'm stressing, freaking out, and it's like, stop, 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 stop. This is why I have a coach. I have a coach because I'm human too. I need someone to guide me, right?
Hmm.
And so it's like, stop, Lanetta, stop, breathe, and just say, it's going to be okay. And I go back to, if he doesn't give me more than I can handle, all my needs are going to be met. Go back, stay grounded. You know this. Just breathe into this and let go of how it's going to happen. I literally had to learn how to suspend the how and just know that it will.
Hmm.
Forget the how, but it will, and have the faith and come from the hope of expecting it to be. It's going to work out. I don't need to know how. I know that faith without work is dead, meaning that in order for me to get an outcome in my favor, I get to take action, work, move, something. So continue to do what you do. He knows your heart. Continue to do what you do. And Lord and behold, I had a client out of the blue who was going to pay me via a payment plan,
Hmm.
but decided out of the blue, you know what? I'm going to pay you in full.
Yeah.
Couldn't control that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I could not control that. And then I had someone come to my house out of the blue and gift me some money just out of the blue. So the amount of money that that person gifted me just because they felt like it, and the client just because they had an inkling to just pay, that amount was exactly
Yeah.
what I needed. It was so pivotal. I'm reaching for this. I took a picture. I did.
That's cool.
I look at it as a reminder.
Yeah, I love that. That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I make it bigger. This was the exact amount
Wow.
that I needed. And there was
Wow.
no way I could force that. And
Yeah.
how did this come to be? Right? That's
Yeah, that's
real.
amazing. That's really cool.
How did that come to be? All because I let go of my emotions, the fear, the worry, the doubt, and I surrendered to the process. Lanetta, you know how this works.
Hmm.
Stop, stop. And so to you, there's no logical explanation.
Yeah, no, I love that. And you really taught me that too. But yeah,
There's
so
none.
back in 2023, you were named Transformational Coach of the Year. Congratulations. Big props to you for that. So what does that recognition mean to you and how does it fuel your mission?
Ah, it means the world to me in the sense where the way I became transformational coach of the world. Geez, ooh, that just came out of my mouth. Okay, I'm gonna claim that. The way I became transformational coach in 2023, the company that I'm certified to be a life coach, Brave Thinking Institute, I submitted a client testimonial,
Hmm.
and all the coaches can submit a client testimonial, and then the faculty picks the top four best transformations of a client. And then doing one of our live events, all of the coaches in attendance gets to see the video of us sharing the testimonial. And we were verbally sharing it in pictures that our clients sent in to support what we're sharing. And then they got a chance to vote. And then whoever got the most votes won. So it meant a lot to me. Just it fed my soul so much because other coaches
Hmm.
voted for my client testimonial. And that's how I won it because of the work I did with the client. And basically, there was a young lady before I was working with her. She would tell you her life was pretty messed up. She was at the lowest point in her life. She was in a very toxic marriage. She had lost her job. She was on public assistance, so she was on welfare. There were moments she didn't have enough food to feed her younger children. Her oldest child was no longer in the home, but her youngest three were there. She was extremely overweight. You know, her health wasn't good, bad attitude, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's where we were at when I started with her. And as we started on the journey together, and she started to get out of the cloud. She saw the fog, she saw the cloud, but she started to get clarity. She started to notice things she didn't know. And then she started to notice things that she did know she didn't know. And her
Mhm.
awareness got heightened. And then she started taking different action based off of my guidance. What ended up happening was, it was a process.
Yeah.
She ended up divorcing the husband. And I tell people, you do what you can with where you are, with what you have. So she found a one bedroom apartment and moved in the one bedroom apartment with her three little ones. She turned her living room into her bedroom and had her little ones share the one bedroom. Then things started to open up, and she got a part-time gig at a gym being a water aerobics instructor, and she started exercising herself. Then she secured a job in her career, so a salaried job, the same woman that was on welfare and couldn't provide food for her kids at time. And there were times I would send her food, for
Yeah.
real. I would send her food. She secures a salaried job in nursing. And then she ends up becoming a first-time home buyer.
Wow.
The same person
Yeah.
that did not have enough money to put food in the refrigerator buys a house. Like, how does that happen? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She got her health in order, lost a lot of weight. She learned with my guidance how to really speak to herself and honor her truth. And she learned that she had a hidden passion for painting, using her hands, making jewelry and painting. And so she started to paint, started to sell her painting. And I would support her and challenge her with love. You know, you can raise your rates and your prices. Nobody's going to be, stop. Stuff is possible. Know your value. And she earned an extra $10,000 in less than 12 months just selling what comes from her heart, her artwork.
Yeah.
So she went from not having a job, not having money consistently to buy food for her kids, on welfare, food stamps, toxic relationship, to leaving a toxic marriage, to going to a 1 bedroom, to buying a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom house. And while she was in escrow, her engine blew up on her car. And she's like, oh my God, Lanetta, I need a car, but I can't mess with my money. I'm in escrow. And I said, let's craft it. Let's dream. So we work together and I take her through my brave thinking process. And Lord and behold, guess what ends up happening? Ends up going to a dealership and buys a car and drives it off the lot without putting any money down
Yeah.
and gets her car note lower than what she knew what she wanted.
Hmm.
But how does that, you know what I mean? She can't make that up.
Yeah.
So when you learn how to let go of the how and the when, which is the timing. And so that's how I ended up winning. The story was this is where the person was. And with me working with this person, this is where their life is today. What a big transformation. And so I won.
Yeah.
And my prize was up to a $10,000 value going to any sandals resort I wanted to, with all the food and the tips and the taxes and airfare paid for up for 2 people. And I took my client. So the client testimonial that I submitted, my client came with me to Montego Bay, Jamaica at Sandals.
Yeah,
And
that
we were
sounds
there.
wonderful. I love that so much. And I really love that about you too, because you're really passionate about helping others say yes to their yes. And
Yes, you hear
so
me say that a
yes,
lot.
all the time.
Yep.
And I love that. So what does that phrase mean and why is it powerful?
So when I say yes to your yes, meaning what are the things that you desire? That's your yes. Now honor that and say, yes, you know what? That will be mine.
Hmm.
I am living that. Actually, I'm living that now and acting like you do. You get to say yes to your yes. You get to say yes to the desires of your heart. Even though if it doesn't make logical sense, who says, who cares? That's the worldview.
Right.
But your yes is you letting you know that you want a fuller imprint and stamp on that in the world today. That's your yes. So you say yes to that. You deserve it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's time. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
No,
then
yeah,
you can
that's
have
so cool.
fun.
I love that. And like I think that people listening today can like take a lot from you. So what's one small but powerful shift that listeners can make today to start designing a life that they truly love?
Ooh, one powerful shift.
Yeah, and it's like something small that they could even do, like even within this day.
Something small
Hmm.
that anybody can do. Pay, well, the biggest, smallest shift, I'm going to give you two. The smallest one is your breath.
Mm.
Breathe,
Yeah.
breathe.
I think
Take,
it sounds so simple, but I think we forget
yeah,
to do that
but
sometimes.
seriously,
Yeah.
take 60 seconds every day. And in those 60 short seconds, pay attention to your breathing.
Mm.
That's going to reset your nervous system and it's going to get the wheels going with you learning how to focus,
Right.
how to slow life down and just focus. It's just 60 seconds.
Hmm.
That's the smallest thing. And then the other thing is to just question your thoughts
Hmm.
and ask yourself, is this really the truth or is it a fact? That's a huge, huge thing. Is this really the truth or is it just a fact? Because if it's just a fact, it's just in that moment. But if it's a truth, you'll know it. That's what I would say. Question the thought. Is this really true? Or is this a fact? Start questioning it.
Yeah.
Pay attention to yourself.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. And I think something that really, you know, drew me to when we reconnected was you were talking about if you live in abundance, abundance will come to you. So how can people begin to live in abundance even b before their circumstances look abundant?
By believing that abundance is their birthright,
Hmm.
because everything stems from your thought. Believe that you're supposed to live abundantly. You got
Hmm.
to start there. Believe that you're supposed to. It's written biblically.
Hmm.
Abundance is your birthright. He came here so we can live abundantly.
Yeah.
So believe that you are meant to live abundantly.
Yeah.
You're meant to. You might not be living it in the visual world today, but internally, start with the internal piece. Know that abundance is your birthright, and the quickest way to get to abundance is to practice gratitude.
Hmm.
Be grateful. Practice gratitude every day.
Yeah.
That is the open door to abundance.
Hmm. Yeah.
Be
Cool.
grateful. Be grateful for what you have.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. And I think, you've been through so many changes, in these past few years, and I appreciate you sharing the journey today. So looking back, what would you tell the version of yourself who was down to $900? What would you say to that person?
That this is just the beginning.
I love that. Yeah.
That you know what? $900 is an amazing amount.
Hmm.
So that 52-year-old, $900 is an amazing amount, Lanetta. Instead of, oh my God, I only have $900. You
Yeah.
see how I just flipped it? The reality is it's $900. But the truth is that it's an amazing amount versus it's only 900.
Uh-huh.
Because for a person that doesn't have a penny, $900 seems like a lot. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all relative. So it's like, oh, okay. Well, I have $500. I got something. Thank you very much. Let's go. Let's go. I had more once before. I get to have way more than that. Gotta remember, homeboy upstairs is in the multiplication business. So let's multiply that. Let's go. We're not in tradition. Let's multiply that. That's how you get to abundance quicker. Start multiplying stuff. Because 9 plus 9 is 18,
Hmm.
but 9 times 9 is 81. You want 18,
Mm.
or you
That's
want
a wonderful way
or
to
you
think
want
of
to flip
that.
it, or
Uh-huh.
you want 81. You either
Yeah.
can have 1 8 by adding it, or you can flip it and have 8 1 by multiplying. So let's multiply. And it just came to me right now.
Yeah.
See how that works? This stuff just happens.
Yeah, no, I think that's so
Really
cool.
good.
It's
I
just
like that.
Yeah, no, I love that. And, just how we were talking to like things you just can't explain, like the power of thinking differently. So it's just like, telling me when I need to, yeah, I think I was telling you too, like when I was in the job search, I just started thinking differently and things started shifting for me. Like I didn't
Yep.
change anything, I didn't change anything on my resume. I just started feeling differently about stuff and things just
Yep.
started shifting in my
And
life.
then you started getting those leads for those six-figure jobs. You remember you were like, before
Yeah.
I was getting nothing. You're like, oh my God, and I can't explain. All of a sudden, I'm getting these inquiries about six-figure jobs. Like, huh? I'm like, this is how this stuff works. Girl, I'm not gonna steer
Uh,
you wrong.
No, and
It
I feel
does
like
take
people wouldn't
logical sense.
know. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I feel like people wouldn't believe us unless they've experienced it themselves, though. Love that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, which is why I'm literally right now working on a new course
Okay.
called, I don't think you even know about it yet. I mean, the people in my database that get my emails about different events that I put together,
Hmm.
I haven't sent it out yet. However, I'm working on a course right now called Master Your Faith.
Mm.
Like I said, a lot of times I go through stuff and literally there's a course from my life, like for real. And so my faith over the last year, especially since my mother unexpectedly passed away, and
Yeah.
my brother's been in a skilled nursing facility for over 6 months, and it's just very interesting. Um, my faith has been tested. And so I am in the space of creating a really tight program around faith because when I have a chance to reflect back on the clients that I have worked with or the people I've had conversations with, one of the main common denominators that I'm finding out is people being impatient and just giving up.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, this is taking too long, or oh.
Yeah.
And that all deals with faith. And I'm here to say we all have faith.
Yeah.
I'm gonna prove it. Can I prove it really quick?
Yes, I'd love to see.
Well, if you set your alarm clock, you
Hmm.
have faith that you're going to wake up to that alarm clock. You have faith the alarm clock's going to go off. You have faith that if you did not think you were going to wake up the next day, why set the alarm?
I never looked at it that way. That's true.
You do have faith.
Yeah.
We all have faith. You know what I'm saying? We all have faith. But how cool is it to be intentional about it? You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
When you learn that it's there and then you start working on the thing that's there that you've been using, but you've been using it so organically. But when you understand the importance of it, the foundation of it, and how it works, and you get the knowledge, and then you get to apply the knowledge to something that you're already using unconsciously.
Hmm.
Or how many times have you told yourself, "Oh, I'll get to that tomorrow"? If you didn't believe there wasn't going to be a tomorrow, why would you say it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll do that later. So you have faith that there's going to be a later.
Yeah.
So you can't tell yourself you don't have faith.
Yeah. Right.
You just may not be aware of it. So I'm literally working on a program. It's going to be tight, 4 weeks.
Okay.
Tight. So I'm excited. More to come on that. But that's what I'm
No,
working.
I'm excited about that
Mastering your
too.
faith,
No, gonna
how to
get me.
strengthen
Yeah.
your faith muscle to overcome anything.
Yeah, I love that. No, well, so wonderful talking to you today, Lanetta. Thank you so much for your time. Before we wrap up our conversation, how can people find you if they'd like to connect with you?
Well, the best way, I'm an old school chick, you can email me. And my email is coaching@lanettamarshall.com. So it's COACHING, then the at sign, Lanetta, LANETTA, and then Marshall, MARSHALL.com. So Lanetta, coaching@lanettamarshall.com. You can also find me on Instagram. It's Lanetta, LANETTA.Marshall. And then on Facebook, it's Lanetta Marshall LLC. I'm going to be very, very honest, y'all. I do not have a huge social media presence. I am not consistently on social media. I really am not. I don't even have Instagram or Facebook apps downloaded on my phone. I do not. I'm being very honest. That's why I said the best way
Yeah.
is to email me.
Okay.
Coaching at LanettaMarshall.com because I'm paying attention to my emails.
Cool.
Huh.
Okay, well, thank you again, Lanetta. This is so wonderful, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have an amazing day. I got a chance to reconnect with a friend this morning, and then
Wonderful.
I'm here with you allowing me to love on your audience and you loving on me, and
Yeah.
then I get to love on you later in your separate session. So I'm excited, girl.
No, me too. Okay, well, take care, Lanetta.
Okay.
Thank you for being here and tuning in to Voices That Propel Us, stories of justice, action, and community. Your presence in this movement matters. If today's conversation moved you, share it, talk about it, and keep the work going. Together, we're not just imagining change, we're making it. Until next time, stay bold, stay grounded, and stay in the fight.
Every time I feel so mad and sad and bad, I say to myself, relax, lean back, it's a brand new day. And every time I feel so down that a friend